thought he was gonna say she had braces. Alright, cool. We're gonna keep it going. Hell yeah! Your next comedian is new to me. Let's make it nice and loud for Jason Summerlin.
So, I sneezed in front of Misha earlier. That guy's not kidding. So yeah, you know, growing up, one of my favorite comedians was Carlos Mencia. So, I'm gonna tell you guys this story about my parents, Matt and Helga. Here's some jokes that I wrote. And I say that I wrote them because I know nowadays some people are using ChatGPT to help write stuff. And I can't really believe that, but what's the deal with humans? Like, why are they so soft and like squishy, like with skin and everything? Don't you hate when you're like in the middle of error 404? Yeah, so, you know, when I was growing up, my parents always told me to be the bigger man, and I'm a good listener, so I really wish they would have said, like, be an average sized man. Yeah, parents. So speaking of my parents, I have been trying to get a little bit closer with my parents recently, closer with my family in general. Been, you know, calling my mom a lot, trying to talk to her once or twice a week. My dad and I, we don't really talk too much though. I have some trouble with him. You know, he did a lot of drugs. He had a hard time holding down a job, and he's lived in an urn for the last 7 years. So he doesn't really talk a whole lot. You come home, you're like, hey man, how was your day? And it just kind of sits there. Not too stimulating, but could you imagine if he did talk back though? It'd be pretty creepy, like, you know, you come in, hey man, how was your day? Oh, not too bad, son, just kind of sad. Lids flapping as he speaks. Night of the Living Dad or something like that. When your parents die, right, you have to decide, like, how are they going to go? Like, are you going to bury them? Or are you going to cremate them? And we got my dad cremated. And I was thinking, you know, like, crematoriums, the workers there are a lot like coke dealers. You're using, like, you're like using a triple beam to kind of, like, partition things out, right? Like, or you're giving people, like, a full package. Because, like, people split up ashes. This is, like, a weird thing that people do. So my mom's like, hey, do you want part of your dad's ashes? And I'm like, no, what am I really gonna do with that? But, you know, if you don't have enough ashes, like, do you think they, like, sprinkle a little bit of extra, like, baking powder in there or something? You know, you gotta stretch dad out so that everybody gets a little bit of product. Like, you don't want to shortchange anyone. So they're in there, like, with their triple beam, credit cards, cutting things up, weighing it up, or if they're more like the plug, you know, then you take your package home, and then you put it on your own triple beam. You guys are fighting. Dad loved me more. I get slightly more. I get like a half gram extra. Mom tried to give me an eighth, but I was okay. I was sure he got stepped on. Yeah. So in recent news, an all-black World War II female unit called 6888 got awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor. And it made me sad because 3-6 Mafia has still yet to be recognized congressionally. But at least they stay fly. And they're riding Spanish. They don't stop. You guys following this like Pete Hegseth thing with Signal?
Yeah.
You guys know about this?
Yeah.
Seems like people don't really know about this. So Signal is this like messaging app that you use to like have encrypted conversations with your friends. And Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense of the United States of America, so he has access to like actual encrypted channels. And instead he's just like accidentally randomly inviting random people into Signal chats about like bombs that we're gonna drop on people. And it's made me think like, man, why couldn't I just be a Republican, dude? Life would be so much easier if I had absolutely zero accountability for anything. Like, I could do whatever I want. I'm not going to get in trouble with my boss. He's just going to be like, he's great. He's doing a great job. He's using all the appropriate channels. I'm stealing information too. And then, like, you know, the only thing you really have to worry about, like, you can do whatever you want. You can have, like, sex scandals, nobody cares. You talk about grabbing women by the genitals. The only thing you can't do is like search Grindr. Pretty great being a Republican. I guess I just have morals and stuff. I don't know. Oregon's kind of weird. I'm from Florida, and I grew up in like a majority black neighborhood. And I didn't always get along with like everybody around me. Like I was one of the only white kids, so I got like picked on some. I'd get into fights, and a lot of people might end up racist in those situations, but I avoided it. Except for when I'm in a room full of like pale-faced white devils. That always bothers me a little bit. Diversity in Oregon is basically like white people with different hobbies, or different color hair, or different color glasses. Like Joe's into rock climbing, and Jeff really likes snowboarding. I like both. Thanks guys, I'm Jason.
One more time for Jason. That was a good Trump impression. I was like, dude, I'd like Trump more. Maybe if he had a ponytail too, man. Just kidding.